I want to now turn to a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam connected with India. The word India does not occur in the hadith. In the hadith it is the word Hind. Hind. And Ghazwa would be wars fought by the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. But because this is a war which will take place at the time of the return of Nabi Isa alayhi salam, perhaps for that reason it is known as Ghazwa. Allah knows best. Ghazwatul Hind. That there are hadiths of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and I am not in a position to assess their strength and authenticity, that there will be an end time, meaning Akhirul Zaman, conquest of India, or conquest of Hind, not India. But there is also an end time conquest of Constantinople. Constantinople. This one is a very well-established hadith, very strong, that the Prophet said sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam that Umranu Baytul Maqdis, at that time when Baytul Maqdis or Jerusalem is flourishing like it is today under the Yahud, under the Zionists, it is re-center stage today. At that time it would be Kharabu Yathrib. Yathrib or Madinatul Nabi would be in a state of desolation, playing absolutely no role on the stage of the world, not even in Islamic affairs. That's Medina today. And before I forget, I got a booklet from the printery only 2 days ago. It's only about 35 pages long, very small, easily to be read. And it is entitled Medina Returns to Center Stage in Akhirul Zaman. And that booklet is outside in English and in Bahasa. So do please get a copy. The time of the flourishing state of Jerusalem would be the time when Medina would be in desolation. The time when Medina will be in desolation will be the time when the Malhama will come. The big war is coming, where most people will die. The time of the Malhama will be the time of the Fathul Constantinia. That Constantinople will be conquered at that time in Akhirul Zaman. So the conquest of Constantinople 600 years ago obviously could not be what the Prophet is talking about. And the conquest of Constantinople will be the time of the Khuruj of Dajjal. Khuruj of Dajjal. Dajjal's release is one thing, Dajjal's Khuruj is another. He was released in the time of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. He is the mastermind of the modern political system which has paralyzed the world of Islam, imprisoned the world of Islam. He is the mastermind of the modern economy and the modern monetary system with his paper money. He is the mastermind. But you cannot see him as this time. He is not in our world of space and time. But his khuruj, when he comes out, you will now see him as a human being. And the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, you will see him as a Jew, as a young man, powerfully built with curly hair, meaning curls at the side, like the Orthodox Jews. So, we have not only the conquest of Hind, but the conquest of Constantinople. Now, when Nabi Isa alayhi salam returns, he's coming back as Hakim, to rule. So I asked last night, would he have to submit to the authority of the Security Council of the United Nations? Huh? Tell me? Huh? Obviously not. Tell them that in Washington for me. When he comes back to rule the world. Which means he has to rule over the Zionists. Which means he has to rule over India. India will have to submit. Hindu India will have to submit. And therefore, whether you have the ahadith or not about Ghazwa Hind, it is clear to me that there will have to be an armed conquest of India in order to ensure that India submits to Nabi Isa alayhi salam. Who is going to be in that army? It will have to be mujahideen. I don't think the standing armies of the modern secular states are going to do that. And what kind of warfare will the mujahideen be waging when there's all of this oppression upon them? And the wars are going to start soon. I hope the Pakistani people are listening, because I expect the Pakistani people to take the leading role. Oh yes, in joining their brothers in Afghanistan. Afghanistan is up front. Afghanistan has waged successful war in resisting the NATO Zionists for 10 years. An embarrassment for Barack Obama. That's Afghanistan. And I'm expecting second in line to be Pakistan. This is why I'm asking the young Pakistani men, get out of the cities. Get out of the cities. Move to the countryside. Secure your water and your food. Secure your families. Because you are going to be on the front line. And it's not going to be conventional warfare. I think it's going to be about 20 years of guerrilla warfare that's coming up, Afghanistan style. And I hope these words of mine reach the young Pakistani men, and the young men of India, and the young men of Bangladesh.